welcome back to my channel, and if you are new here, my name is Noemi, and in today's video I wanted to share with you guys a couple of tips when we go for a trip, and it's gonna be a road trip to Aqua Park, and I'm going to show you how we pack, and I'm going to also show you what kind of food we take and how I prepare them, and there's a little bit of a cleaning video there too because if I cook I have to clean up, so yeah. We always take food for the trip wherever we go, and it's one thing is that we have so many allergies and sensitivity, and it's just generally trying to eat whole foods, but also it's so much cheaper, it's less of a hassle, because when we go somewhere we don't have to think about like where we're going to stop by and what we're going to eat, and the four of us would want to eat four different things. Now when we pack food, it's just easy to hand it to the kids on the back seat, or we can just munch on it while we drive, because it's gonna be quite a drive. I'm going to show you how I cook, pack and get ready for a day trip. Okay, you guys, the cheese is done. And so that was the zucchini cheese. And I'm going to use this one into our sandwich. And as you can see, it looks like a cheese, but this has just only zucchini in there and gelatin and nutritional yeast. So I will link it down below the recipe, but this is how it looks like. Even if you can eat dairy, I would really highly suggest this food because it's just so healthy. It's got the gelatin, so you get a bunch of protein in there. Guys, it's so creamy. I really wish you guys could have a bite from that. So for the next recipe, this is one of our newest favorite, and this is something that I made out of garbanzo beans, and I'm just going to add 2 eggs. You're going to need some salt, and to spice it up, you can add some onion powder and some gluten-free flour mix. The 2 eggs and the garbanzo bean goes into the food processor. Some salt, onion powder, when you look at the consistency, you can just add some flour until it kind of has the texture of the Play-Doh. So if you want it really fancy, you can add some dried chives. So it shouldn't be too hard because then it's gonna be too dry. But as soon as you can form a ball, then you achieved the texture that you're going for. So here's all the food that is done for tomorrow, and I'm going to explain to you a little bit more detail how I have the system here. So once we get up, I'm going to make their breakfast. So we're going to eat home and we're going to leave afterwards. So the first thing that we might going to eat, it's gonna be fruits, and these are the jars. I purchased ghee in these jars and I just kept them. I didn't throw them away, and I just reused them as a storage. And this is gonna be the lunch. So when we travel, we definitely take one big meal that is something that you might consider to eat with fork. So it's more like a proper meal. And then the rest of the day we're going to munch on something else. And the next one, I only prepared one, and it's just because I wanted to show you how it's gonna look like. But I'm going to prepare this in the morning right before we leave, so it's going to be fresh. And it's got some salad in there, and I put the cheese in there that I mentioned that it's made from zucchini, and we got some salami in there, and I wrap it up in this one. And I just put it into this bag. I've been using this for like 7 or 8 years, I don't know, but these are worked so well. And then for next one, when we get hungry, I got the quinoa salad, and we can have some apple later on. And also I have some backup fruits. We got some plums. And on the way back, I hand this to the boys on the back seat. So it's kind of like just to stabilize the blood sugar for them. And also I take this food as a backup. So I think this is gonna be a plenty of food for us. But just in case if we're stuck in the traffic or just some reason we just wanna come home later, we still got this garbanzo bean patties, and these are fill you up very well. And even though I was cleaning up while I was cooking, I still ended up with some dishes, and I was constantly cleaning it up. But as you can see, I still got quite a few dishes in the sink. The other tip I wanted to share with you guys, we don't put any cooler pack or ice in there besides the ice that we put into this jar, and it definitely chills off the whole entire cooler. Sometimes we put in there too. Whatever melts away from the ice cube, we're just going to drink it. So it has two purposes. One is to cool off our cooler, but also it gives us extra water to drink. And I'm going to fill this up in the morning till the top. So I'm going to have 2 of this jar. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you soon in the next video. Thank you. Bye. So I didn't record the thing, huh? Okay, let's do one more time. And in the today video, I wanted to share you guys a couple of tips. No, tips. Also we have, so that's gonna be a long drive. Okay. Oh my goodness. 15 seconds of intro turning out in a 30 minutes of mass project.